Flosstube, it's Valerie. It's Friday, April 26th, I think. And welcome to Stitching in the Barn. If you're a new person, we talk about life and stitching and not necessarily in that order. But, and if you're an old subscriber, which isn't very old because I haven't been doing this that long, thank you for coming back. I'm trying to move things around just so you get some different views to look at. We are actually sitting in my kitchen, so that's interesting. The lighting is perhaps not the best, but we're going with it. So I wanted to say thank you for all the lovely comments about my visit to Kay's house. She's getting lots of questions and positive response, so that's very nice. I also have been receiving lots of lovely emails, which I wanted to tell you about. Some people have been so kind and they've written and given me all kinds of information about stitching and how to care for your work and just all kinds of lovely things. And one viewer, Leslie, thank you so much, has sent me some silk threads to try. So I'm very excited about that. I've never stitched with silk, and she had some left over from a project and passed them along. So I'm thrilled to give them a go and see what I think. It was interesting talking to Kay because everybody has a different way of doing things, you know. Some people stretch their, like Kay just stretches her samplers onto the foam core board that she's framing it on. You know, Kitten Stitcher would iron it first, I think, or other people do. And then I was talking to Kay and I was telling her about, you know, using spray starch and ironing on a fluffy towel. And she said, well, I would do that for a pillow, but probably not for a sampler. So it's just so interesting to hear different people's approaches to doing things and realize, you know, experiment and see what works for you, I think is really the lesson that comes from that. No rules. I'm very happy that Deborah contacted me, and so the pattern I was giving away last week is winging its way to her now. I hope she receives it soon. I have another pattern to give away this week. This one is donated by Carolyn DeLong from Just Cross Stitch, which is very kind of her. And I was thinking, you know, we've had such warm, wonderful, almost 80-degree days in Pennsylvania. And then today it's cold and windy and rainy again. So it's funny, I've been thinking so much about spring, and I actually put some plants out and got all excited about getting flowers. And in fact, the place I usually go to get my flowers, I went there and it was 80 degrees and they had not much out yet. They said it's a little early, really, really a little bit early. So I'm gonna have to wait a week and go back. I did get some things, which is how I like to do it. I like to just get enough things that I can bring them home and plant them in their pots or wherever I want to put them and not be too exhausted. And then I'll make, you know, several runs at the beginning of the season to get everything that I want for all the different areas. But it's too overwhelming if you come home with a carload full of stuff and then you have to plant it all. So I like doing it that way anyway. So I was happy that they didn't have everything I needed, so I'll be back. But anyway, it got me thinking about spring, and we're very happy to announce that our bees survived the winter. We weren't sure, but they seem to be thriving and doing well. And so that brings me to this lovely thing. Carolyn very kindly has donated the Blue Flower Quilting Bee pattern by Janine McGowan, which is very popular at market. I know I bought a copy for myself, but she has provided this so one of you can benefit from this. So if you are interested in this pattern, in the comments below, tell me what appeals to you about the pattern. Is it the bee motif? Is it the colors? Is it that it's quilting, that has a sort of quilting feel to it? Is it just you're excited for spring? You know, whatever it is, if you put that in the comments below, you will be entered to win this pattern. I would like it if you were a subscriber, and if you like the video, that's even nicer too, but it's not a requirement. So don't mention giveaway, don't mention free, don't mention anything of that kind contest, so that that can't be picked up by people who shouldn't be winning the pattern. So there we have it. It's lovely. I can't wait to do mine. I have not put it in my Stitch Mania plans just because I didn't get it together to get the fabric and the floss. I'm going back and forth with what I'm going to do with Stitch Mania, because part of me was thinking, oh, I'll include my whips and that way I'll get to work on my whips. And then I thought, no, I really want to just have new starts, because that's kind of the craziness of it, is to have all the new starts for May. You know, tra-la, tra-la, it is the month of May. That's a throwback to Camelot, if any of you were musical theater fans. So I pretty much picked smaller things for Stitch Mania. You know, it was maybe chicken of me. I could have picked some bigger projects. I have one or two bigger projects. For the most part, I picked little things, and to help myself out, kitting things, I also went through, and things I had bought that were kits, I thought, well, why not do those? That makes it easy. You just throw them in, and some of these things I've had for ages, as you will see. So I guess I will just get right into it and start showing you some of the things. And this is not set in stone. I may substitute out, because I have quite a few things that are nearly kitted that are just missing like one or two flosses, and I could probably work around that and just, you know, do a part that doesn't require that color floss, but I wanted to be able to just grab a bag and go. So if I manage to procure those flosses between now and the start of May, I might swap some things out, but I'll just start anyway. Here we go. What did I pull out of the bag? Let's see. The first one is O Tannenbaum by Brenda Gervais. Can't make my fingers work. There we go. I've been wanting to do this for ages. I have the tray and everything, so I just need to start. I'm going to do it on 36 Picture This Plus Legacy linen and all the called for colors, so that should be fairly straightforward, I hope. We shall see. I'm gonna have a big mess, I can tell, because I'm not doing this very systematically. Here's one, Milady's Needle Rabbit Run Pincushion, and it came in this cute little bag. I've had this for ages too. And it even gives you the little wooden spool and the fabric to make the thing at the top, the little pincushion at the top. I don't know what this other one, I may have thrown this in from something else. I'm not exactly sure why that's in there, but I'll figure it out as I go along, I guess. And that should be very quick. It's just a little bunny and some decorative motif around, and then I guess you just attach it to the... And I haven't promised I'm going to be FFOing these things, but I'm going to try if I can. We'll see. This next one is really old. Look at this, Homespun Sampler. Look at that. I can't tell what linen that is. Maybe it says inside. But it's called Laura Jane's Stitching. And it kind of reminded me of Little House on the Prairie. And the whole kit was $16.80. So that should be fun and different. Some of these are so old that it's going to make it very interesting, I think. Next one is Baby It's Cold Outside. I've wanted to do that one for ages. And I'm ornery, so I'll be happily stitching Christmas things when it's very warm outside. And this I think I'm doing on all the called for colors and fabric. Let's see. It's ale, 36 count ale. So that is what's called for, I believe. So that's that one. And oh, all bundled up, another Brenda Gervais. Oops. So he'll be fun, although my friend on Instagram or something had said, that big old head. It's a nightmare of white, you know, you're just like stitching and stitching and stitching and stitching and stitching. But I think it'll be fun. This is a silly little kit called Fairy Little Gnome. But it's a little kit, so I might as well do him. I think he's cute. It's on the dark Ada, I think. Yes, it is 14 count. And it's, I think it's navy blue. It doesn't look quite black. So that might be a bit stressful, but it's not too big. And then this one I've had for ages too. It's another old Brenda Gervais Black Cat Sampler Pillow. Here's another dark fabric. What was I thinking? I'm doing that on 30 count Blackbird. I don't know who made the linen. Is it? It's not Weeks. The Caldor color was Weeks Onyx, but this is Blackbird 30 count, so we'll see how that goes. 13 Colonies, Little House. I'm going to do that on navy bean, 32 count navy bean from Lakeside Linens. So I'm excited to do that one. History, very important. Here's one I've put off for a long time. It's an Erica Michaels Very Berry 30 count silk gauze strawberry. I've never stitched on silk gauze. Maybe this is not the time to try. I don't know, maybe it's now or never. You know, plunge in while you have the enthusiasm. I was going to say something about that when I was talking about the weather. You know, it's so funny to me. I must be a person of very limited initiative or something, because if it's too hot, I don't feel inspired to do anything. I just want to swan around and complain. If it's too cold, oh, it's too cold, I can't do anything. So the temperature has to be just right, and then I can launch into some big projects. It's just called procrastination by another name, but this is, for some reason I don't feel so excited to do this one this time. Don't know why. I mean, I like the pattern and I want to do all of them eventually, but this is Autumn's ABCs. I might be switching this one out. And that is Little House Needleworks. It's cute. I don't know why I'm not feeling it. And what had I planned to put that on? 32 count unbleached linen. We'll see. I had proclaimed the year of the fractor and I haven't done any fractors yet. So I am going to do Blackbird Fractor by Plum Street Sampler, Paulette Stewart, I think. Although somehow I don't have linen in there, so I'll have to see if I'm pretty sure I have some linen. What does it call for? Calls for 36 count Patriot Brew. Well, I definitely have 36 count linen. If I can find a color that approximates this, I'll use that. It's just sort of a creamy color. You know, it's not my favorite fractor either. I mean, I like it very much, but there are other fractors of hers and other people that I like better. I don't know how that one ended up in the bag, but here's another one I think I might switch out. It's the Birthday Tart, Paulette Stewart. I think I'm not in an autumnal mood. Christmas, yes, but for some reason I'm not feeling autumn. It's a very cute little pattern. I had just done Olga's Tart as part of my Stitch 9 challenge, so maybe that's why it's too similar in my head or something. So I might swap that one out. Okay, this is more, it's not fractory, it's more like, you know, like a woven, I forget what they're called, coverlet. This is so old. This is Kathy Barrick when it was called Barrick Samplers, and it's a 1998. but it's called Overshot Heart. And it's designed to look like a coverlet, which I loved. So that one I'm doing on some, what is it? It just says cream linen, 28 count. And it calls for 28 count ivory linen, so that's good. I might tea coffee dye it or something first. And it seems to be done with DMC, so that's easier. All right, here's some oldie moldies. I may or may not do one or all of these, but they're fun. Again, it's homespun sampler, mini samplers. There's Lady Martha Washington. I thought she's kind of fun and different to put with other patriotic things. It'd be fun to have these. And of course, to go with her, I have General George. So they're kind of cute. They look Pennsylvania folk arty to me. They came as little kits, so you've got the floss and the fabric. So they should be fun. And then I guess to go along with them, I had also got the ABC sampler. Not sure how to show that to you. ABC, I guess it is. Looks like KBC. And this one is called Just For You, and it's like a little flower pot motif. Again, they have the floss and the fabric in there. These my dear sister-in-law gave me years ago when they came to visit. My son, who is 22, was about 3. So that's how long I've had these. This one had lavender in it, which I'm sure is old. There is a lavender farm very close to me, so I could go and visit and get some fresh lavender seeds to pop in the pillow, which would be kind of fun. But it's, I think these came from the Textile Museum in Britain. Textile Heritage something. I can't even read it, but it's from Great Britain. And it's rose, and you can make it into a little bag sachet, which is very sweet. And here's another one, Flowery Mead Pincushion. Again on the dark fabric. What am I? Oh. And it is from Textile Heritage Collection in Great Britain. Oh, pretty. So that will be fun. These my husband got for me. He was working in an office downtown, and the secretary did cross stitch and was producing her own patterns at the time, I think. It says Ned Adams Originals. I know what that is. But this one is Symbols of Freedom, Betsy Ross House, which is in Philadelphia. You can go and visit it. There's some controversy over whether it really is Betsy Ross House, but I choose to believe that it is. You know, that she walked those streets. That's sometime. But it's got the floss, and I guess it's Ada. It's on. But that should be fun. And the fact my husband bought them for me for Christmas one year, I thought that was so sweet. You know, he just heard cross stitch and he thought, oh, I think my wife does that. Maybe she would like these. So he got these for me. I've got to do them. I'm ashamed I haven't done them sooner. And here's Independence Hall. This will be like a warm-up to doing Lila Studios' big Independence Hall, which I have. I have not attempted yet. It's a bit daunting. But one of these days I will start that. But this one is like a little mini version of it. It's cute. So, again on Ada. I have not been counting, have you? I don't know. Here's everybody was doing this last summer, and I got it, but I was just slow to start it. I'm trying to take this pink paper off. I put little pink post-it notes on the front of my patterns when they're missing something, and then as I find the floss or buy the floss, I cross them off, and then when they're complete, I know I'm ready to go. But this is Knee High by Hands On Design. Very cute. Reminds me of my dad's farm in Ohio. I'm doing it on the called for linen, which is chocolate milk, fabric by Stephanie, 32 count. Let's see. It looks darker than this. This is a more yellowy color, which is good for corn, but I think I put the floss on and I think it'll be fun on that. I don't mind that it's darker. What else have I got? Oh yes. Henrietta. I want to do Henrietta. Basically so I can tie that ribbon around her neck. I just think that's the, you know, the crowning glory. Plus I think she's adorable. I've got the called for linen, which is Confederate gray. I also have in here a piece of ale because I think I was thinking I could do, where'd he go? Oh, hold on, I can see my mess. Primrose, where did she go? I could do Primrose on the ale and do Henrietta on the Confederate gray. Not that it matters really. One or the other. I may switch them around, we'll see. But that's the concept, those two. I feel like I've gone over 30. I don't know. No, I'm not gonna do that one. This one I was supposed to be doing as a stitch along with Jen's stitching niche. I bought the fabric, 46 count beach walk. It will be worth it, but 46 count. I do not have a big day. I do have a dazer light, but it's not like Kay's where you can roll it around, and it's clamped to the side of a bench out in the barn. So I don't end up using it very much. Here's the 46 count beach walk, in case you're interested. It has kind of a pinkish tone to it, which is kind of fun. 46 count. Looks pretty dense, doesn't it? You have to be excited about things. You have to approach them with joy. Yes. Okay. I think this next one might have been part of my declaration that I was going to do as the Stitch 9 challenge. I have to go back and look. Sort of forgotten about that. Plum pudding. Little mice in the kitchen. Brenda Gervais. Called for colors. I think they called for linen, I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm using 36 count winter brew. That'll be fun. Quaker sewing tray. I did buy the tray. I haven't painted it yet, but I'm not using the called for linen for this. Which way shall I show it? House up. There we go. Called for linen is 32 count mudstone. I have 32 count oaken. So it's going to be darker, which I think will be okay. I'm just going to show you the colors. I think they'll be fine. We'll see, we'll see, we'll see. Getting to the end here. I have others, but I'm not going to show them. It's too awful. I would like to put a start on this baby. Merrily, merrily, we welcome spring. Blackbird Designs. So gorgeous. Called for linen, 36 count oaken. Got all the floss ready to go. It's just intimidating because it's a big project with a lot of detail, but everybody who's stitched it has written, unless they're big fat liars, they've said, oh, it was such a pleasure to stitch. So we will see. I'll tell you the truth. And then the last one, again, the dark linen. I think I might have to change some of these. Well, we'll see how that goes. It's not linen, it's Ada. Queen Bee Sampler Farm. I think I'm just going to do this part and see how it goes. The top Queen Bee Farm part. and see how that goes. Now let's do a quick count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, I don't know if I really count all these, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, put him to the side, 20, put this one to the side, oops, losing my floss, or was I 20? 21, not sure about this, 22, 23, 24, 25, 27, whoops. So I'm kind of eliminating 3, so that gives me leeway to pick 3 others that I can surprise you with next time. I may surprise you entirely the next time. I may have totally changed what I planned for other things, but that makes life more exciting, don't you think? I'll have to put that. Now I have a glorious mess here. I will sort all this out after you go. I wanted to show you 2 other patterns I bought, which I have no intention of starting in Stitch Mania, but I am just thrilled to have. I managed to get the old Scott that I was telling you about, the Hands Across the Sea samplers, which I am just thrilled to have this pattern. I think this is so exciting. And because of kind Anne writing to me and telling me about the history, and now I can read on the back of the pattern, they were saying they think that a lot of Scottish patterns would put this little old man figure on there. He was the one that I thought was kind of skeletal and scary. That I was going to give him a hat or hair or something. But it's supposed to be Bonnie Prince Charlie, the Old Pretender. Is he the Old Pretender or is that his father? Bonnie Prince Charlie, anyway. To show allegiance to the Scottish independence cause, they would put this on here. So I think that's very exciting to have that, and a bit of history. And Scotland, bonnie Scotland. So that's very happy for me. Excuse my spring allergy voice. I take an allergy pill and it's still like this, so it's probably about time to stop this video, because I don't want to make you listen to that for long. Anyway, my voice just gets lower and lower and lower and lower. Excuse me. I got this from Market. It's Isabella Sinclair, 1827, a Scottish sampler. And from what I've learned from all my kind friends instructing me, when you have these sort of letters, that's very typical Scottish, the little red brick house. Isabella Sinclair sounds a very Scottish name to me as well, so it's actually Margaret Mc something, and then Isabella Sinclair. So I'll have to read up on the history of this if it's written and see what I can find out about Margaret and Isabella, or if it's Margaret Isabella Sinclair. Anyway, someday I'll do this with all the little, there's a word for this, I've forgotten what it is, but the letters when they have all the curly cues around and all these. This one doesn't have, this one has the peacock. It does not have discernible thistles as far as I can tell. It's got, that's a good sign. Does this one I think has, yes, all the way around it looks like thistles. I don't know if you can see that. And I don't know if you know the story of the thistle in Scotland, why it's the national flower of Scotland. Supposedly, when all those Vikings were invading and trying to plunder the monasteries, you know, they'd come out of their boats and step on thistles, and in the night they, you know, somebody squealed with pain and alerted the monks, who were able to hide some of the treasures before they were looted. So that's the legend anyway, something like that. You always have to take my stories with a pinch of salt. I mean to tell the truth. Sometimes I exaggerate for comedic effect. or sometimes I just don't quite remember. So I make it up. No, I don't. This is based on reality. I'm sure you can look this up and check me. So, did I talk about everything I wanted to talk about? I think so. I will keep working on my Hawk Run Hollow, try and finish up that block Grammy Jean's apple pie. Oh, I should show you, I decided I didn't want her dress to be all white with the white in the sign. I don't know, I just wanted to, and besides my mother loved these colors, this sort of teal blue. So I changed it to Grammy Jean instead of Grammy Jane's, and I made it apple pies instead of apple butter. And then I created this little pie, and I'm gonna, once I've filled in the blue of her skirt all the way up here, I'm going to put little white curlicues for the steam coming out of the pie. That's my plan anyway. So I have, well, now that I'm looking at that, I have quite a lot to do on this before May if I'm to finish it in the month of April, that block. I better get cracking. What I've been working on, I suddenly had a mad panic and thought, oh my gosh, I'm going to StitchCon in June, and I want to participate in the smalls exchange. So I frantically have been trying to stitch up a little small that I can use. I'm going to attempt to finish it myself because I don't have time to take it anywhere else, I don't think. So poor you, whoever gets my thing, it will be finished by an amateur, but I'll do my best. It's all for fun anyway. Because if I got something, and whatever I got, I would be thrilled and appreciative of. So I hope that whoever gets mine will feel the same way. So I've been working on that, which I won't show you. I will take a picture of it before I package it up. I have not worked on my glitter village, which I might throw in as one of the Stitch Manias, just as an extra. Maybe we'll see how much energy I have. It will depend on what the weather's like. If the weather is just perfect, then I'll have a lot of energy and I'll get a lot done. But it is the month of May. My daughter, as I think I've said before, is a senior in high school, and so there's so much activity going on, end of the year things and dinners to go to and proms and all sorts of fun stuff, and I am putting my focus on that. This is my last baby, my last child, who will be leaving me next fall, going off to college, so I want to enjoy every minute now that I can. So here's how much I've done on my Dying to Stitch Club. I've started the second topiary. I'm almost finished all the white of the house and the flag, and I have started some stars. I have a few more stars to put on, and then this will be done. And of course it's a kit that gives you everything you need to finish it, so I will possibly attempt to finish that myself. And that's all. Those are the things I've been working on. The Dying to Stitch Club retreat, the Hawk Run Hollow, and my little small. And I have not worked on the next Annie B's ornament. I'm afraid they're sending me the next one, so I'm starting to fall behind here, but oh well. Oh look, I just found, this must have come out of that little kit with the bunny rabbit. They even give you the butterfly pins to stick in. That's cute. This one. You can see it has the little pins at the top. Very nice. Thank you, Milady's Needle. Huh. The butterfly pins are from Kim's Needlefuls. I don't know if that's still around or not. So there we have it. Wish me luck. I don't know if this will suit my personality or not, trying all this, but we'll see. Remember about the giveaway for that beautiful bee pattern. You know, tell me what it is that's appealing to you about that. If it's the bee or quilting or the colors or just the spring motif. Here it is. This guy. And I will do the random generator, and I'll give a week. So probably next Friday I'll cut it off. But if you leave a comment before then, you could be the winner, which is very exciting. Thank you, Just Cross Stitch. So anyway, I hope you all have a lovely week. I wish you lots of good weather and good stitching time and good energy and health and all good things. Bye.